I am back once again with another video. Me, Red Star 1992, and instead of cracking open a pack of stuffs, it's decklist time. I've decided that since I have completed my Blackwings deck, I thought I should do a decklist video on my newly completed Blackwing deck. So we'll just rip straight into it. One Dark Arm Dragon. Obviously with a bunch of dark attribute monsters in the deck, this is pretty much needed for a lot of power. Dark Samorg. I've only got 2 wind attribute monsters in the entire deck, both of which are in the extra deck. But I still find it pretty useful, and of course with the Blackwings deck having the ability to swarm, I can still tribute summon this if it's needed. Triple Sirocco the Dawn. Obviously its power to transfer attacks to one onto the one Blackwing is really useful, plus of course its Cyber Dragon-esque like ability to top things off. Triple Shura, General Searcher of the deck. Obviously, when it destroys a monster in battle, it searches out a Blackwing with 1500 or less attack and special summons it, negating its effects at the same time. Triple Borer, obviously, brilliant Beat Spear. Well, yes, Beat Stick, Spear, the piercing ability. Basically, the resident beat piercer until you get to Armed Wing. Triple Blizzard, really good to res out your monsters, and going into synchros very easily. One Gale, it's an asshole, but that's why it's good in a Blackwing deck. One Vayu, I don't see any real reason to run more than one at this certain point in time. It's a useful card, but there's really just enough room for one at the moment. One Jin, very good card. This can pretty much wipe anything that's bigger than it. It's a bit like Exploder Dragon like that. All you need to do is give him a few extra attack points with something like Sirocco, and so long as that monster's defense is weaker than this guy's attack, it gets automatically destroyed by its effect. One Mistral. It doesn't have a bad special ability, although it's probably going to come out if I find another Blackwing that could fit into the side much better. One Kaloot. It's obviously Kaloot. One Ghibli. This has actually saved my ass a couple of times in the Dueling Network. Over the Nexus, it can special summon itself if I'm about to get hit with a direct attack, and obviously it'll take the attack itself. Plus it can switch its attack and defense, which is useful considering it's got no attack. It's a nice little 1600 defense, which helps. And one Gust the Backblast. If you control any cards, you can special summon it from your hand, and if it's on the field, if your opponent's monster decides that they want to attack one of your Blackwings, that monster will lose 300 attack during the damage step. That's it for the monsters. Spells. Black Whirlwind, one of the main, probably staple cards in Blackwings to help them speed up a little bit. Allure of Darkness, draw power. Burial, there'll be a lot of monsters getting removed from play because of Vayu and Samorg, so this is really useful. Pot of Duality, it's a Pot of Duality. I mean, it's a bit of an ass in preventing special summons, but Cards for Black Feathers does the same thing, really. But Pot of Duality lets me just pick what I want and add whatever to my hand. One Book of Moon goes well with the Vayu combo, because if you summon out a synchro with Vayu, its effects are negated, but if you book it and then flip it face up, that negation does not apply and it can use its effects. MST, staple, Monster Reborn, staple, and Dark Hole and Giant Trunade, 2 more staples. Traps, Delta Crow Anti-Reverse, really good card for back row haze. Of course, before or after you play your giant Shrooner, either way. Blackwing Backlash. It's a bit situational, but essentially it's basically a second Mirror Force. If you've got 5 Blackwings in your graveyard, and your opponent attacks a direct attack, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls with this trap. Fake Feather. This is another trap that saved my can. My opponent played, I think it was like a Dark Armed or something like that. I dropped Fake Feather, he had Torrential Tribute in the grave, so I just copied Torrential Tribute and blew his Dark Armed up as soon as it hit the field. Black Return, another brilliant card. When you special summon a Blackwing monster, when a Blackwing monster is special summoned, so even if your opponent special summons a Blackwing monster, by selecting one face-up monster your opponent controls, you gain life points equal to the attack of that monster, and then that monster gets bounced back to the hand. So as soon as you get a Blackwing out of the field, you can bugger off your Stardusts and Trish and Branax and stuff and other things. Double Icarus attack, brilliant card for, especially so for Blackwings. One Trap Stun, shiny Trap Stun, and it's a Trap Stun nonetheless. Call the Haunted. Don't know how much of a staple it is with Monster Reborn around, but it's still a useful card. Torrential Tribute, staple. Mirror Force, staple. So that is that for the main deck. Now we shall move on to the extra deck, which is filled with surprises and stuffs. Not really. One Blackwing Dragon. It's pretty good for keeping you safe from effect damage. It's useful in this deck. I don't want to take this out and then go into a duel and then find, I need this for something. It's a good card. It's a nice 28 beat stick. Stardust Dragon. It's Stardust. I mean, do I need to point anything out? Red Dragon Archfiend for clearing out opponent's defenses, especially the pesky ones like Marshmallow and Spirit Reaper. Colossal Fighter, in case anyone's decided they want to drop Honest, I can just res Colossal. I can just take a hit, res Colossal, because of its rather amazing little loophole in its effect. Black Rose Dragon, Field Wipe. Triple Armor Master. Probably the best of the 3 Blackwing Synchros in my opinion, because it just has a brilliant effect. What can I say about it? One Silverwind. It's not actually so hard to go into this in this particular deck, because I've got a way to get it onto the field provided I've got no cards. I can drop Gust, normal Blizzard, bring out a level 4 and sink into this guy, and it's a pretty good effect because it can destroy, even of course it's synchro summoned, it can destroy 2 face-up monsters on the field with defense that are lower than this card's attack. Plus next time a Blackwing monster you control will be destroyed by battle during your opponent's turn, it is not destroyed. The effect, of course, only happens once though. Armed Wing. Big bird with a big Technicolor shotgun or something. Either way, it's shenanigans because it gains 500 attack when it attacks a defense position monster, and goes well with the fact that it pierces. Branac to bounce stuff back if you don't like it. Gaia Knight. I picked this over Iron Chain Dragon obviously because if I do run to the Stardust, this is the way that I can just run Stardust over instead of just having to sync up something as Suicide into it. And 26 isn't bad. Would be Goyo if it didn't get banned, but yeah. One Vortex. I can't give this thing enough praise because it's a really good card. It's not bad on its own, and when it gets destroyed in a battle, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Winged Beast type. Last, Magical Android. The only reason this is in there is because I don't have any Catastors. If I can get a Catastor, I'll throw it in place of this. But a little bit of life point gain doesn't help. It's not too bad. It helps. It does help. I don't know why I said it doesn't help. Anyways, side deck. A second value, in case I need it. One Aurora, although I'm thinking of taking this out because of how situational it is in the game. It's not too bad. I mean, it can copy synchros if you remove them from play, and you know I can just, yeah. But I don't know what's going to happen with that. One Kalima the Haze. This is a pretty. I think there's a pretty good combo with this as well. You can remove this from play to bring out a Blackwing monster from your graveyard during your opponent's battle phase, and then it gets removed from play at the end of the battle phase. And of course, I'm pretty sure that you can book it and keep it safe. I'm not sure what the ruling is on that one, but I don't know. One Elf and the Raven, not a bad card. It's pretty good. You can normal summon it without tributing if you've got a Blackwing monster, so it's a bit sort of like the other two, and when it's normal summoned, you can change the battle position of one monster your opponent controls, which goes pretty well. One Bane the Steel Chain, little direct attacker, plus switches an opponent's opponent's attack position monster into defense mode whenever it does inflict battle damage, which works well when you're using this card as well. Blackwing Strafe. If you send a Blackwing from your hand to the grave, you can pick a defense position monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. Now what's that? You got Stardust? I'll drop Blackwing Strafe. Bye bye. Can't stop it. Against the Wind. There's a really asshole bloody ruling with this card, in that if you have Blackwing Dragon on the field and you play this, you get a Black Feather counter on Blackwing Dragon, and that's it. You take no damage, but you don't get the monster you choose, which is pretty shitty. A second MST, if I need it. Foolish Burial for milling off something, I don't know, like the Bayou. Black Thunder, pretty good for hitting your opponent with burn damages to get revenge on them for beating down one of your best Blackwing monsters. Hits them for 400 for each card they control if they destroy a Blackwing monster by battle. A second Fake Feather. Guard Mines, just in here, I don't know, for display. It's a Crow card. It can negate and destroy a card with an effect that would target and destroy one card that the player controls, plus it burns them for 500 damage. Urgent Tuning for quick synchros in the battle phase. Magic Cylinder for Magic Cylinder. And Solemn Judgment. It's Solemn Judgment. Alright, 13 minutes for one deck. This video, far out. I guess it's because I've been rambling on too much about effects that people probably already know. Anyways, that's it for my Blackwing deck. Hope you enjoyed. I'm obviously going to do decklist videos for some of my other decks when I feel up to it. So until then, I will see you later.